All right. I am excited for this one. So I had my subscribers and members in my school community send me some of their email designs for me to roast. Okay, I'll try to be nice, but some of these designs have some serious work to do. I'm just kidding, of course, kind of. Anyways, I think getting real designs from people and then me reviewing them like live on a call is gonna be super educational and valuable for you guys. So you can see my exact process on what it takes and how to create emails that actually convert. So I have 10 designs here from all sorts of brands from different industries and all sorts of emails with different purposes for each, just to give a wide variety of everything. So enough of me yapping, I'm too excited, let us get into it. Alrighty, so here we are, here are the 10 emails. I'm just gonna go through one by one. I will quickly flash them. Hopefully you see yours, that'll be exciting if yours got picked, but I really haven't broken down, I haven't really looked in depth at any of these, just like super briefly when I saw them, I was like, okay, I'll use that, and I chose 10 random ones, so this is gonna be very, very live, raw reaction. So let's do this. First off, we're starting out with a couple of welcome emails. So it looks like this email is welcome email number 1. So right when somebody signs up for the newsletter, they're getting this email. Right off the bat, it does look like they're giving a discount, and this is quite a long email, especially if we like compare it to some of the others. This is a long email, and if you guys know me, I like to keep things as short as possible because we don't want the customer to scroll. But like pure aesthetics, like this is a beautiful email. I think the colors look great, everything matches, and you know, they're like good divisions between sections. I really like how it flows. But the major knock here is that this is way too long and we're trying to accomplish a lot of different things in this email. You can see there's welcome, there's some copy, and then there's testimonials, and then there's recommended for you, and then there are icons, then it's not sure where to start, take this quiz, and then it's follow us on social media. That's just way too many things. If you try to get the customer to do so many things, they're not going to do any of them. Rather than in this first welcome email, we just want to get people to purchase and use their discount and have that be the only thing. So I would like this a lot better if we didn't have these bottom sections and it was just this. I think that would be perfect. And then even then, I try to shorten these sections a bit to really try to make it nice and concise so the customer doesn't have to scroll. And the other main thing that sticks out to me is this is a welcome email. People signed up to get a 10% discount and they just want to get their discount code and then go back to the store and shop. And so we want to remove any and all friction. And friction in this case is going to be the having to scroll to find the discount. So when a customer receives this email, they're on their phone, they're probably only seeing this and they don't have their discount. So they have to scroll and then they have to like find it right here, and it's a little bit difficult to see, and then you don't even know, like it's hard to see that it's 10% off. We really want to make this as clear as possible for the customer. So a major improvement that I would do is I would move this section right here, move this like down there and put these buttons in this copy right under welcome to the Oreo fam, so that right when somebody opens an email, they can see their discount, they can see they have 10% off, and then they can click the button and go shop. We've seen that wildly outperform any other layouts like this, and I think it's going to really help with clicks and conversions. Now those are the main things for this email. I really do like this email. It's a good looking email. It's just very long and it's trying to do a lot of different things, and really when people are signing up for the email list, they just want their discount. So I would shorten this, get rid of these sections, move this stuff up to the top, and then this would be a pretty solid welcome email. So I'm going to give this a rating out of 10. I'm going to be pretty strict on these ratings, kind of like Dave Portnoy with his pizza reviews. This one I'm going to give a 7.3. Great aesthetics, but some of the conversion rate optimization is off. All in all though, it's a great email. So there's that one. We're going to carry some of what we just learned into this email here, which is another welcome flow email. So right off the bat, just looking aesthetically, like comparing it to this, I definitely like how smooth this one is compared to this one. There's kind of a lot going on with all of these little products shown here and there, and like these colors, there's kind of a lot of colors. It's a little bit distracting. So that's one knock that I'm gonna make right off the bat, is there's kind of just a lot going on. But one thing I do like is this discount right at the top of the email. However, it does look like this isn't centered on the button, which is going to be a knock. I like how simple they keep it up here. I think that this gradient could be a little bit better and have it flow a little bit better. But one thing I do like here is I think this copy is solid. Over 60 million capsules replace. Talking about some of the brand unique selling propositions just pretty fast, talking about some of the benefits of the brand, what separates you, and then reminding them of the discount, and then having this button. I think that's solid. I would probably just like clarify what capsules are and being a little bit more just like direct with the customer, just because like me, I don't really know what they're talking about, but I don't know, maybe that's just a personal preference. I'd also like to make it clear that maybe this is a button and have a button right at the top, just so that the customer, again, it's super clear for them that we could use a button. Like I'm sure this is supposed to be a button, but we really want to have our buttons just say like shop now or shop and save, and then put that right at the top so the person can get their discount and leave. I do like this guarantee as well. I think that's good to include in the welcome flow. but I don't really like how it's incorporated with this. It just looks a little bit blocky. I'd probably like create a separate little transition into this. And something about how this is blocked, I'd probably add another line spacing in between these sections here because this just looks kind of awkward. And then also we have a couple instances here where there's one word underneath the sentence, and try to avoid that as much as possible. I'm also not a big fan of having like a headline kind of like on top of a gradient where it's a little bit distracting. I don't love that. I think this product section is cool, a little bit distracting, but I think it's pretty cool. I like the information, but I just think the gradients could be used a little bit better. I'd probably try to keep it really simple with this section and not use as many colors. But like overall, like it's good stuff to include. Like overall thoughts on this email, it checks all the boxes of like what we want. I think that this is a good length and it has like good content of the email. I think it's some of the like the design and like how it flows is just a little bit off that I'd like to improve. And then I'd like to get the button and try to get people to convert right at the top of the email to help with conversions, kind of similar to this one. So for this email, I'm going to give it a 6.6 out of 10. Moving on to the next one, we have one more welcome email. And this one kind of similar. It is a bit long, but generally in welcome emails, you can get away with it. So I'm not too against it. It looks like we have this hero section, we have icons, we have a bridge section, we outline the product a little bit, and then go over some bestsellers, which is generally a pretty good outline. Kind of a lot. I would probably drop this section and go into that later. Usually if we're gonna do like brand background, unique selling propositions, or outline product like benefits, I like to go with one of these or the other, just so that we're not doing too much in this welcome email. So as far as layout, it's solid. A little bit long. I'd like to drop one of these sections and use it in another email, but like looks solid. Aesthetics, it's a little bit more in your face than like something like this. I really like the aesthetics of like this first email. This is a little bit of a lot going on, but overall, solid. Okay, here we go. This is what I like. We have the claim the discount. This is your discount code. Shop 5% off now. A massive, massive button. Love that. The bigger your button is, the better and the more clicks you're gonna get. So I love how they included that. I like this social proof here and these icons. These are great. And then this, I just think we have kind of a lot going on in this section. I would probably either spread things out or drop some of these things and hit on those later. Just because we have so much stuff going on, it can be distracting and take away from somebody actually clicking the button. So I would probably drop some of this stuff, maybe just experiment a little bit on what we can take away, what we can include, but like it's all good information, we can just use that later. In this case, I don't think we need the button all the way at the top. I probably would though move this button to the top, extend this blue, and put the product down a little bit just so we have the button right at the top. I like the copy of let the gains begin. I think this could be bigger and remove some of the line spacing, but overall this looks pretty solid. And as far as like the hero sections, this one is probably the best laid out for conversions. Now let's get to this bridge copy. We're glad to have you here. So much noise. If you're anything like us, awesome. I think this is a solid section. I like your goals are waiting for you. Get after it. You can definitely tell that there's a voice behind this. I would try to remove like this single word right there. One thing I'd try to include here is be more specific, because we're kind of just saying there's so much noise. We're here to be reliable. You're looking for stuff that is effective and safe, but anybody can say that. Any brand can say, hey, our stuff is safe, our stuff is reliable, but you need to have like numbers and actual social proof to back that up. So I try to avoid kind of using like overall terms and try to be specific. If we're saying things like it's safe, instead of saying we're also safe, you can say we have 34 research studies proving that our product is safe for anybody. I like this button. The gradient looks cool. I like how we reminded the discount there. I love this section here, strength, endurance, hydration. I think that this looks amazing. Make progress in and outside the gym. This is a banger section. This is something I would probably repeat across a lot of emails. Love that. And then take a look at the rest of our essentials. I like how we show some of these and give some information on each. This is super good. I like this, and it has some depth with the gradient in the background. I think this is pretty solid. So overall for this email, I like the content. I think it's a little bit long. I would probably honestly drop this section as a whole, or maybe cut it short, or maybe use this in another email just so we can shorten things. And then really kind of clean up this header section, make it less busy. And I think this headline could be executed a little bit better to be a little bit more clean and kind of like native to the email. This email checks a lot of the boxes, but something about the design I think could be better. And so I'm going to give this a 7.3 out of 10. All in all, solid welcome email, and I'm sure this converts really well. Now we're moving on. We got through the welcome emails. Let's talk about an abandoned cart email. So this one says, forgetting something, your cart is expiring soon, get your products while you can. And it looks like right here they have a dynamic section of what the person abandoned, and then they have like what they say about us with some reviews, and then return to cart. Off first glance, I love how simple this cart abandoned email is. I hate cart abandoned emails that have way too much going on. We literally just want to tell somebody about their cart. That's all that they care about. Super simple, to the point copy, and I love how this button is all the way at the top of the email. This way someone can immediately just click on, they see their cart, and then they can go return shopping. Amazing. I like the price, subscribe and save, including some reviews. Love it. And I really like this testimonial section as well. Only thing is, ideally, I would like the testimonials to be specific to the product that the person abandoned, but that's not the end of the world. Maybe I'd say, instead of like what they have to say about us, maybe say like what you guys have to say about us, just to include the customer, just because it seems a little bit vague, but like that's being pretty nitpicky. And then another nitpicky thing is I always like to have buttons in the footer so that people can shop other items. Like maybe this person added an item to their cart, but they don't want it anymore, but maybe they want to keep shopping. Right now, you're only giving them the option to return to their cart. I like to have other options in the footer just where no matter what, someone can go and shop other products, kind of like this. That's one thing that I would like to improve, but this is a really well executed cart abandoned email. The one thing that's kind of missing is information about like shipping, returns, and some way to reverse risk. So if I were to improve this, I would probably divide this section here, add some icons here about like free shipping over XYZ orders. We have this guarantee and anything along that to kind of like help someone get over the edge. But again, that's nitpicky. I think that this is a solid cart abandoned email. Nice and simple, looks clean. I'm going to give this one a 7.8 out of 10. The best one so far. Awesome stuff. Let us move on to the next one. Now we're getting into actual campaigns. So this is an email that's getting sent to the whole list. Looks like it is a new product drop. So overall layout, I like for the new product drop, we're showing the products. I like how this button is right at the top of the email. I don't love the fonts. The text is a little bit big and it just feels like there's missing some depth in this email. And the logo is really big. I'd probably shorten that, but I like how this button is at the top. We have some pretty good copy here giving some background info. The transitions are solid. It brings it to life a little bit. We have some cool buttons here with different copy, and then we're showing some of the products. And then need some shoes to match. Check out this exclusive trainers, yada yada yada. Cool, that's pretty cool. I probably would drop this just to try to keep some focus on the product release and have as little buttons in the email as possible. I think that these colors are a little bit aggressive and all over the place, and so maybe I'd try to fix that a little bit. But overall, it's solid in terms of the content and conversion-based stuff. Just some of the design, I don't think this is the most aesthetically pleasing. It kind of looks a little bit flat, but this is an email that like checks all the boxes. So I would give this a 7.1 out of 10. This would be a lot higher if like some of the design was a little bit cleaner and say it was in the style of like this email, which still I think is the best executed in terms of design and aesthetics. Cool, so there's that one. We're kind of rapid firing these ones. Let's go to this next one. Looks like this is a sale of some sort. Enjoy your local favorites for up to 50% off, or they're just highlighting some of their discounts that are going on. I like this button at the top and I like this headline. However, this is very nitpicky, is we have a button in the top left corner of the email. Now the problem with that is if you think of somebody holding their phone in their right hand and they try to click that button, they have to like stretch their thumb, and that actually hurts conversion. We've tested this and we see like a 15 to 20% increase in conversions by making sure that all the buttons are centered, especially for the hero section. So that's one thing that I would improve. And then we have this section here. All of this looks very tight. I would try to spread this out. Kind of like how this is shown. I think this could be centered a little bit better. Like some of the text is like off center. It looks a little bit bland. So there's no real like transitions. So that's something that I would improve. These are a little bit tight. I would really try to spread these out. Don't be afraid to use a lot of spacing. Use white space, spread this all out, use a different transition, and I think that would help out a lot. And then I'm not really seeing a footer. I would really like to see a footer in here with like some further shopping options. And then my other main thing is that the buttons are a little bit small. I want to make sure that our buttons are as big as possible so that even a blind person could click them. So I would try to center this, make it a big button, make this button bigger, maybe change the button to be put in the middle right here. Then you could use a transition to have this as like a sub headline, and then go into this section, which I would really try to extend it out that it's not too packed, and that's going to help out with conversions. Last thing, if you're showing a couple products, you want to also have a general shop now button at the bottom, because maybe somebody is feeling hungry and they're down to give this product a try, but they don't want any of these things. You're not giving them an option here at the bottom to like keep shopping. So whenever we're showing individual products, we always want to end with a general shop now button. And moving on to this one here, study smarter, not harder. And then we have these different sections here outlining tips, and then shop now. Wow, I love the layout of this email and the conversion optimization. This is near perfect. We have a big button right in the center with headline, sub headline, and a picture. This looks super clean. And then we go over just a And then we go over a couple main benefits, just clearly outlined for somebody so they don't have to read through blocks of copy. They can see the headlines here and skim it and be able to get something away from it. And then another big button, and then a general CTA down here at the bottom. As far as layout, I love this. Super, super simple, outlining some main points. So easy that somebody can skim this and understand your email. As far as layout, this is the best one yet. Copy looks solid as well. I really do like this email. It does look a bit homemade. There's just something that doesn't look as professional about it. Maybe that's just part of the branding. I don't know this brand too well, or at all really. But for promoting like a free study guide, you're giving people a couple of techniques. One thing I think that could really help out here is be like, hey, we gave you 3 tips here. There are actually 20 tips in the guide. So if you want to get the remaining 17, click here to download. And that's gonna really sell the click for people and get more people to use your guide. Overall, this is solid. The main thing is just design. I would try to elevate it a little bit, but I do really like this. Probably like my favorite yet in terms of conversions. I'm going to give this a 7.9 out of 10. Good job to whoever made this one. Now let's move on to this one. This is a restock here. So we have a big button here. I like that. We have some icons, like it, and then some text, shop now, and then there's that. Cool, cool. So this is solid. There's obviously not a lot of pictures, which usually I like to do. I would probably like to make this text a little bit bigger, but I kind of like this image. I like kind of the dark aesthetic of this. I think it works. And I think like for what this email is trying to do with simplicity, it's doing a good job at it. We have this shop now, big shop now button. Hey, this is a restock. I love, love, love using icons to explain what your product does and some of the features. So I really do like this. Just an easy way for someone to look and understand what you're bringing to the table. The copy is a little bit like too casual, and it doesn't really lead too hard into a call to action. So I think this could be improved. So this graphic on the bottom, I know you don't want to see this graphic again. Don't miss out. I don't know. I just like to keep my copy super simple. I wouldn't try to get too fancy and just be really direct and straightforward on what the product is, what the benefits are, and why they should buy now. And I think just some urgency is really missing out because we're kind of just telling these people, hey, this is back in stock. You can buy it whenever. Whereas we could really lean into, hey, this product went out of stock for the summer because it's the summer favorite drink, and it is back in stock now for a limited time. And hey, this already sold out once. It's probably going to sell out again. So if you want to try it, then buy now. Rather than saying like enough for you, all your friend, this is our biggest restock. This is back in time, where it's just very general. I like to get a little bit more aggressive on these restocks. Like, hey, this went out of stock for a reason. But you know, I like the main points and I like what it hits. The copy just needs a lot of improvement. And I think just overall, it could be a little bit more creative, but I'm going to give this a 6.9 out of 10. Now let's move on to this next one, this flashback email, the soul of a film camera reborn in a digital era. All the fun without the flash, some cool copy. I like the fonts here. We have photo gallery. I like how big these buttons are right in the center of the screen. And it's okay to repeat your buttons if they're the exact same thing. That is fine. That actually works really well. One thing I really, really love, and I want everybody to look at here, is this image. Look at it. So these products are on a white desk. So there's a transition into the background of the email where then it's just a white email. So it's like part of the email, this photo. I think that is so cool. And this is my favorite thing in email design, to bring your emails to life and have the transitions flow. Super cool. Super cool. I love it. I would probably take away some of this space and move this up. But like overall, I like it. I like the button at the top of the screen. This copy is great. It's really awesome. However, I would like to see a little bit of social proof, and that's really the only thing that's missing from this email. And I would like to know like the purpose of this email. Like, is this a welcome email without a discount? Is this a campaign? But either way, I'd like to see some social proof or some numbers in this email just to like back up what you're saying in this copy. And I like this photo gallery. I think that brings it to life a little bit. Maybe it would be cool to have it like look Polaroid style. That looks cool. What's really missing is the footer, which needs a lot of work. It's just showing these social icons. Again, I really want the footer to have buttons so that people can shop further, or specific items, maybe feature some social proof and icons along the lines of like what shipping information you give. Overall, I really like this email. The aesthetic is really cool. I'm gonna give this an 8.0 out of 10. I would just like to know a little bit more of what the purpose is so that maybe you could double down kind of on that point. And then moving on to this last one, we have the space goods email, which again, is this the longest one? No, it's not, but this is a very long email. I'm not a fan of, just like when I'm scrolling out, I think we could really simplify this, but let's break this down a little bit further. Okay, so we have this hero section, calm, focus, energy. This button is a little bit small. I'd like to make this a lot bigger and make the text bigger. This also hero section is very large. I would try to make it at most like this tall, but it looks cool. I like this transition, and you know, everything about this email like looks really cool and aesthetically pleasing. I'm just concerned a little bit about the conversion optimization. But we go into this section. I really like this graphic. I mean, that looks super cool. It's effective. It lists things out for you to easily see. Button is a little bit small, but overall that's good. Then we have this section, which again is an awesome section. I love like the ingredients. I think that's super clean. I like this part here showing the showing some social proof, and then we have this section going over the price. Now the problem is all of these are amazing sections, but you can't have all of these in one email because you're just giving way too much stuff to the customer. They're getting overwhelmed. You throw so much at them, they're not going to remember any of them. So in reality, I would like to cut both of these and just have the email be like this and shorten it a little bit and maybe add like some small section after with social proof. Just because it's kind of all over the place. We're bouncing to different things, and you know, that's just not really my style in terms of what I've seen convert well with keeping things as simple as possible. But like everything looks great. I like the transitions, how this overflows through. I like using like the mushroom graphic, which like overflows over between the sections, and then this looks cool. I mean, I like this simple just slash, and overall like that looks, everything looks good. There's just like too much. Things are a little bit too long. I'd really like to cut this down, make the buttons bigger. I'd also like to be clear on like what the real focus of the email is. Is it on like this calm focus energy, or is it on like the powerful safe ingredients? Is it on like the price and the premium starter kit? Like, I don't know. I really want to focus on just having one specific thing that we're trying to do with this email. So I would probably change this to just be like calm focus energy and one simple scoop, like elevate your productivity, and just talk about the productivity. Like here, that's solid. Maybe extend on it a little bit and then have just like a general like shop now button, and then that's your whole email. And then what really needs work as well is this footer. The footer, we want to have the logo. I'd also put these social proof icons and logos inside the footer as well. Have these buttons, maybe make them a little bit bigger. Then also have some social media icons and just make it clear what the footer of the email is so that you can use that in all your emails. But again, this is a good looking email. There's just too much going on. I'm going to give this one a 7.9 out of 10. The information, amazing. Copy, great. Design looks beautiful. However, it's not conversion optimized and it's kind of all over the place. So that's what I'd really improve here. So we have just roasted all of these, given some good feedback. It looks like this abandoned cart email takes the cake for being so simple and accomplishing exactly what it needs to do for its situation. We just want to improve the footer, and that goes for all of these emails. But overall, this looks good, looks clean. This email was great for conversion optimization and just having the layout. Love this. Super, super clean. The only thing that I'd really improve here is just take the design up a notch in terms of aesthetics, making it a little bit more clean. Then also, this email did well. There's just a little bit too much going on, and we want to dial that back. Alrighty, so I had a lot of fun roasting your guys' emails, giving some good feedback. You guys definitely know what you're doing. I can tell that you've been watching my content, so good stuff. I didn't have to absolutely destroy anybody, so glad to hear that. But yeah, I hope you got some value from this. If you did, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and I'll keep putting out content like this. Make sure to subscribe to my free newsletter, inboxnewsletter.com/subscribe, to get a ton of free sauce like this every day. Anyways, that does it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.